Today we're going to be working in the garden. And I'm only here every 6 weeks, as you know. So we've got a lot to do in a small amount of time. And we are going to try hard to get as much done as we can in the time that we have here. And then we'll just break and see you again back here in 6 weeks and let Mother Nature do the rest. I feel like we need to turn over probably 30% of this garden. Then we're going to, right here, let's see how much dirt we have in that bed, kind of flatten it out, and I think we'll have to add more. And so I'll need you to wheelbarrow us some soil down and then fill the bed up entirely before we can replant it. Glad you're here. Let's get started.
Let's go.
So this is biodynamic compost. And when we rehab the soils, so we're doing a lot of ripping out of old stuff, and then we want to add a little bit of this compost in with the soil before we plant the new stuff. I don't remember the last time I did that, and it's always a good thing to do. I think you're gonna have to go this way. How about having to go past me? Look a second. You know what? The rickshaw stays here. And let's just each haul a bag over to the beds over here. And just like the plants, you always want to keep this in the shade too. We're gonna need a big shovel. And then I'll have you wheelbarrow down some of our dirt to fill it up the rest of the way. All right, 2 bags, sir. You can toss me one if you want, or if it's just easier for you to open them up. You do, and I'll be the hoe. He's not funny. That's what I was thinking.
Just spread it evenly across the top?
That's right, knowing that you have 2 bags. So normally I practice permaculture, and I don't like to disturb the roots. I try to just cut everything off basically at soil level and leave the roots undisturbed. But in this case, I had to get rid of an onion patch. And what had happened was I had let an onion go to seed. That means its entire little head was filled with a bunch of seeds, and then it fell over, and then I just had a million seeds. And then I forever have this onion patch. And so I just dug up the whole thing, and that is a great opportunity to rehab the soil. But for just mixing in this compost, we should probably get 1 wheelbarrow of dirt.
Okay.
And so while Jonathan is doing that, there are a lot of things that need to come out. So we're gonna go and start doing that. Let's go down here. These are a bunch of broccoli florets, so you can stay. But this guy here next to it, he has already become a broccoli. And then would you look at this? This is all full of little broccoli seeds. So I'm gonna cut back these branches. So think of it like giving the broccoli a haircut. You know, it is putting so much energy into keeping this section alive. And so sort of relieving it of that duty can help it put all of its energy into making healthy broccoli over here. And so that is what this is all about, is cutting back all of these that have gone to seed. Okay. Then we get to take this out to the chickens and make their day. It's a huge plant. So now I'm just sort of helping this plant out. Any sort of leaf that is yellowing, just go ahead and take it. So I'm going down as close to the base as I can to try to minimize the damage, because if you leave this plant with a big open wound, then you're just inviting rot in. And so that will then die and shrivel up and bring all of that bacteria and stuff that it needs to break down that you're grateful is there, but it will bring it back into the plant and start it rotting. And we do not want that because we want this broccoli to come to fruition. So my idea was to start with the chamomile on the end, because like this, we already have some going here. It can just sort of trail off the side, leaving more room in the center of the bed for other things. There, here. Okay, that's probably good spacing for them. And so I'll do kale. Now keep in mind that this is gonna get that big. And so think about how much you want to space that. So like maybe that much kale. And then we can go into lettuce, because this lettuce, it'll sort of be happy in the underbelly of this. So basically you want to dig a hole as big as this and no bigger.
Okay.
And now, Jonathan, maybe you are understanding why we build raised beds. Because look at you bending all over, hurting your back, and look at me just right as rain over here. I do not want to trade sides before you ask. And then you want to make sure there are no air pockets. And then another thing you want to do, it's so easy to like bury. So look at me, stop. Just like we did with that tomatillo, I want you to like take all its hair up gently and hold it as it goes in. And so that way when you're putting soil there, you're not burying any of its leaves.
Okay.
And now you want to press it in. Think about like a mom tucking her baby in at night. And then no air holes, you know?
Okay.
Okay. So what we will do is start here and water in a circle around here. You will hold up the center of the plant like this so that none of it drowns in the lake that you are creating. What will happen is the water will slowly come in until it gets to the center. And once there is a lake from where you have started to the center, that is when you stop watering, and then wait for it to drain into the soil, and then you can let go your plant. And then it's just sort of important to pack down the soil around where you are going to create that lake. So I'm sort of wondering about this leaf here. It looks like it was kind of snapped twice. I don't have high hopes for that leaf. So why make it waste its energy? Kale lose leaves all the time. Boom. Okay, now these we can do quite close together, 6 to 12 inches. So we are going to be planting carrot seeds. So see those?
Yeah.
They're just like teeny weeny, like feather-like, okay? And each one of those will turn into a carrot. So the way carrot seeds are planted is you plant a bunch of them and then you thin them out. So you can use your finger, draw your own line. I like to disturb the soil as little as possible. There is a lot going on under there that we don't see. There's a whole mycorrhizal network, and these are the roots of the Swiss chard that we just pulled out. So we cut these all sort of at soil level, and we'll let those sort of biodegrade naturally.
Yeah, that's the no-till is like a big regenerative principle.
Exactly. And so then I take these seeds and then start to, as delicately as I can, get them into those lines. So soil health is something that is near and dear to my heart. And one of the reasons I go through the trouble of growing my food myself is because so much of the health of the plant has to do with what's available for it to eat in the soil. And I practice biodynamic gardening, which is more of a philosophy of Rudolf Steiner's. And we try to farm regeneratively in a way that we're sort of giving back to the earth as much as we're taking. And there are a lot of things that are just generally missing from the soil. And if you get that stuff back into the soil, you're going to have a better time growing your plants. But he says that if you then eat that food, it helps you become enlightened. So it helps with like human consciousness, which sort of makes sense when you think about our gut being a brain as well. Now, seeds need a lot of water. So I will have to water this every day until the seeds sprout. Because the seeds are so close up to the surface, I'm doing a light, even watering so as to not displace the soil. All right.